All right, guys, how's it going? It is time for another exclusive. All right. Now, I published this about 12 hours ago on the Cop Talk VIP members website. And that's how long it's taken me to get round to recording this for you today. But I'm going to go for it now. I love doing the exclusives. All right, I really do. And I know you like them too. So basically, I'm going to tell you about an exclusive. I'm going to analyze it, go over it with you. And then Dave, my trusted AI assistant that I've been training since last year to study football news articles, the authors that write them, the journalists that write them, and the platforms and websites, publications, newspapers, etc. that carry them. He gives me his take on them, right? So you get me and him, all right? So you get both of us. Now, he's probably better than me, to be honest. I miss half of this shit that he fucking finds. Anyway, I can't read the entire article to you. You're not allowed to do that, but I can summarize. So I leave out bits that are not really part of the exclusive, what I call filler, all right? And what I mean by that is Liverpool that were beaten at the weekend. You don't want to know that anyway, do you? You know, stuff like that, all right? So if you think I'm not being fair, all you have to do is Google the article, read it yourself, and see if if I am being fair or not. When you visit a website that you have no idea about the author or the website you're on, and you don't know if it's credible or not, judge it by the amount of advertising. The more adverts, more bullshit. That's something I've learned over almost the last 30 years of doing this with Cop Talk. So the headline, the exclusive, is Isak waiting on Liverpool phone call as Newcastle exit claim emerges. That's right. He's just sat there waiting for the phone to ring, his lad. You know, he's not thinking about out else, not having no dinner or out like that, not having a cup of tea, not pacing around wondering if he's going to get his dream move, or out like that. He's not, sat there with a fire extinguisher in case someone comes round and sets his Isak shirts on fire. No, he's sat waiting for the phone to ring. And this is by Ben Jacobs of givemesport.com. All right, I'm sure many of you know who Ben Jacobs is. For the record, I do not pay attention to Ben Jacobs, although I'm keeping a closer eye on him than usual because I'm starting to think that he's now part of the Liverpool clique. And what I mean by that is the Liverpool clique of journalists. I feel that he is now one of those journalists that Liverpool are briefing with the low key stuff, not stuff that they'd give to Joyce or Ornstein, but that they'd give to, I don't want to name them, just the usual suspects. So like the little briefings, we need some out there. Tell Jacobs as well, all right? But I don't pay too much attention to him, and I usually think he's a bit late usually. But I just get a feeling that he's getting a bit more. But I'll keep an eye on that. I'll always be fair. Anyway, let's go with it. Alexander Isak will only consider reintegrating at Newcastle or signing a new deal if Liverpool directly inform him a deal is impossible this summer. Give me Sport understands. We're hearing completely different things about that, right? We're hearing that he will never reintegrate at Newcastle or sign a new deal with them, right? So I'm not sure you want to pay much attention to this, but let's continue. This is an exclusive, remember? So I want to see exclusive information. Isak is waiting to see if Liverpool bid again. Isak will know exactly what Liverpool are going to do. Mark my words. He's not waiting to see. Do you reckon he's saying to his agent, do you reckon they'll bid for me again? Because I'm going to look a bit of a cunt, don't I? I'm going to look a bit stupid if they don't. Of course he knows what's going to happen. I want to stop reading there, to be honest with you, because I think that shows you how this isn't a great journalist. I'm sorry. Anyway, the Premier League champions haven't walked away as it stands, but have no plans to place a second offer unless given clear encouragement from Newcastle United. Maybe. I don't know about that. I think Liverpool would still bid even if they thought it was going to get rejected, purely to show that they really did their best. But I'm not concerned. We've got some bold text now, serious biz. Liverpool will make Isak if Newcastle give him green. Liverpool will make Isak if Newcastle give green light. Poor English, that's exactly what it says from the article. They've not checked it. Liverpool view the situation as similar to their ultimately failed pursuit of Anthony Gordon 12 months ago. Newcastle intimated a deal was possible due to their PSR situation, only to then sell Elliot Anderson and Yankuba Minter and change their position. Liverpool are prepared to bid again, but only if Newcastle make it clear they are not wasting their time. Blah, 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 right? And he waffles on. There's filler in there. A bit more bold here. Isak could leave if Newcastle signed 2 attackers. Could leave. It's an exclusive. I don't want coulds, maybes, ifs. I want wills. You know what I'm saying? The feeling remains that if Newcastle can have 2... We know all this. Let's skip to the analysis. Let's see what Dave's got to say. Let's face it. Dave's a lot more fucking interesting than Ben Jacobs, and he's a bit of code. Analysis by Dave. Let's have a look. Headline versus content. Headline, exclusive. Isak waiting on Liverpool phone call as Newcastle exit claim emerges. Implied promise from that headline. Liverpool just need to call and Isak's gone. There's a breaking new exit claim. Something fresh and insider E is happening. Reality check. Isak will only consider reintegrating or signing a new deal if Liverpool directly inform him a deal isn't happening. Liverpool haven't walked away, but won't bid again unless Newcastle open the door. Newcastle haven't opened the door. No new bid, no contact, no decision, no change. This headline is clickbait dressed up as urgency. Ben Jacobs been accused of clickbait here. There's no phone call, no decision, just vibes. It might as well have said exclusive. Isak still thinking about that call he never got. Dave! I love Dave. Buzzwords and phrases. Exclusive. Check. Give me sport understands. Check. Liverpool insiders insist. Check. Sources claim. Check. Feeling remains. Check. All parties appear to want clarity. Check. Translation. We're making educated guesses based on what's already been reported elsewhere and slapping exclusive on it. This is standard Romano-light language. Make every rumour sound like a private boardroom leak while saying very little definitively. Word count breakdown. The article is around 900 plus words, but let's look at where they're actually spent. Actual info on Isak to Liverpool, approximately 350 words from that 900 word piece. Recycled comparison to Anthony Gordon's saga, around 100 words. Newcastle striker search, Wissa, Jackson, etc., 300 words. Backstory and contract gripes, 150 words. So just over 1/3 of the article is about the supposed exclusive topic. The rest is filler, recycled window dressing, and attempts to position Newcastle as competent and ambitious. Holes and contradictions. Isak waiting on a phone call is pure interpretation, not sourced from the player or agent. We don't get a quote, a hint of dialogue, or even a vague, close to Isak style cop-out. Jacobs says Liverpool's £110 million bid surprised Newcastle, yet also says Newcastle expected £120 million minimum. So what's surprising about that? He claims Newcastle intimated they were open to selling, but then emphatically rejected it. That's a contradiction, or at the very least, PR spin. Jacobs calls it an exclusive, but includes multiple nuggets already in the public domain, the Gordon comparison, the £110 million bid rejection, and Newcastle striker shortlist. Nothing here is truly new. The author and the outlet, Ben Jacobs, known for being overly descriptive with few scoops of his own, often regurgitates ongoing transfer narratives, wraps them in insider language, and brands it exclusive. Feels like a hybrid of a news aggregator and PR conduit. Nice enough guy, sure. But as a hard transfer scoop merchant, he's not in the same league as Ornstein or Joyce, more like championship level trying to play in the Champions League with loaned credibility. Give me sport. Their business model is volume-based and SEO-led, search engine optimization-led. Exclusives tend to come thick and fast and often read like guesswork supported by public knowledge and back-channel repetition. Articles are often wordy and ad-stuffed with few hard facts or named sources. And the final verdict from Dave. This Exclusive is a polished repackaging of what's already out there with a few whispers thrown in to justify the label. It dangles the illusion of imminent movement with no actual quotes, no source dialogue, no confirmed change in stance, no new bid, no new contact. It's not journalism, it's digital theatre. If you strip this article of all buzzwords and filler, it could be summed up in one sentence. Isak still wants Liverpool, Liverpool still want Isak, Newcastle still don't want to sell. Nothing has changed. Yet it's spun into a headline built to bait engagement, push ad impressions, and get shared by those scanning for hope or narrative moment. And that, my friends, concludes the analysis of this so-called exclusive. I think it's a load of shite, to be honest with you. And to be honest with you, which is poor English saying it twice in a row, to be honest with you, Ben Jacobs sounds no better there than some of the numpties that we read on the so-called fan sites, which we know they're deliberately clickbaiting you. It's like an article written for Give Me Sport where they've got a retainer, you need to produce so many articles for us, give us something. Because quite frankly, there was nothing exclusive in that article at all, was there? And most people would probably go, Give Me Sport, big brand, Ben Jacobs, big journal, whether you think he's credible or not. And there's nothing there combined. And like Dave's saying, load of shite, basically. It is clickbait, and it's not very good clickbait. All right, guys, so we'll leave it with you. I do have another exclusive coming up. If you enjoyed this video, please thumbs up the video. If you've got any comment on this video, comments, let me know in the comment section. If you think I'm being unfair, or if you think Dave needs unplugging because he's talking shit, let me know. If you want to support the channel, you can become a channel member, or you can buy me a beer or a coffee. There's a love heart under the video. It's called a super thanks. And I always give a shout out to people that do that on my other channel in the morning briefings. The link to that channel, the Duncan Oldham channel, is in the video description, and it's also on the screen around now. That's it. One thing I want to say to you, I've got my grandson visiting me at the moment from England, my daughter as well, so you might have heard of people on the other side just walking around and that. They're on their holidays and that, but they know that I've got to do this with you guys. All right? So I'll leave it with you, and hopefully we will speak real soon.